You know, it's not always as black and white as it is in writing. I'll be right back. Hey Halifax, Brenda Kay here with the Halifax Home Selling Group and the sweet Miss Frankie. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a little bit of company here today, and I love having company when I'm doing my videos here. So today I'm going to talk about the deposit. And when I said that it wasn't as black and white, I'll get to that, but I want to talk a little bit about the deposit. What does it do? What role does it play, really? So it shows the buyer's intent, like their serious intent that they're going to buy the home that they put the offer in on. So there's a conditional period, you know, we have your finances and your inspection and any other conditions of it. So during that period, that money's protected. It's 100% protected. So if there's something comes up on inspection or finance, and look at some of the stuff we see out there, it's absolutely crazy. Then they can terminate the purchase and sales agreement, and they would get their deposit returned in full. Now what we do is we collect it on the day the conditions are due, because we don't even want to get into the paperwork and money back and what it is. But here's the thing, and I'm reading this right from the purchase and sale agreement. It says the contract reads, "It is understood and agreed that if the buyer does not fulfill the contract, the buyer shall forfeit the deposit." Here's the thing, it's not as easy as that. And when are they talking about? What period? Where does this come into effect? And what it is once you're past your conditional period, it's the last day, you've paid your deposit, and just a little side note, squirrel, that if the deposit is like $5,000 and you know that your bank limits you to $2,500 a day, either get a bank draft or start a couple days early. Okay, so there's where your money's protected. Now, once you waive those conditions, it becomes a firm and binding legal purchase and sale agreement, to what we term unconditional purchase and sale agreement. Now, as the buyer, this is where the deposit comes into play. Because what is happening with the seller during this period? What are they doing? They're taking their house, they're stopping their, once I get an unconditional offer, that's it. Nobody sees it as active out there. It's not on the active MLS. We're not doing any marketing. We're not doing any advertising. And the seller, most often, and here's the scary thing when something goes wrong, but most often they've put an offer to purchase and they're in a legal and binding contract to purchase another house. So why am I talking about all that? Because this is the period where the deposit really plays a vital role. And I've actually had this happen, that a buyer, this happened to me about 4 months ago, remember? Because it was not pleasant when it happened. I actually had the buyer came and knocked on the door of my seller. I think it was like a Sunday afternoon. And he said to my seller, sold sign in the yard, and he said, 3 weeks before closing, my wife lost her job and we're not going to buy the house. And we were like, what? So of course I call his agent and there's a big kerfuffle about everything. Now, here's where you decide what's going to happen to the deposit. Because like I said, remember what I said on that contract? The buyer shall forfeit the deposit. But here's how it works legally. So there is a termination to a purchase and sale agreement. And on that termination, the buyer can willingly forfeit the deposit, or believe it or not, they can say no. There are times when a buyer will cancel, like this gentleman here, he felt because his wife lost her job that, and you know what, here's the thing, they could have had their financing pulled. We don't know. You know, we don't know. All we know is we want that deposit. We've had that property off the market now, and we were cranky. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we were cranky. We'd had that property off the market. My clients were leaving in 3 weeks to move abroad, right? So what happens if they say, we're not giving back the deposit? It has to go to small claims court. And small claims court's for anything under $25,000. So normally that's where they'll go. So like I said, I just want everyone to understand the role of the deposit. And it is significant because there are times when, and this is how important it is, there are times where buyers will walk away. Because I'm not going to lie, you go to small claims court, like my guy did, the judge goes, hey, you're giving back, the seller's getting that deposit back. There's no question. I don't even think he paused very long to, it was kind of black and white for the judge. We were lucky. Might have got a judge that said, hey, come on. They really had no reason. She lost her job. They lost their finance. There's nothing we could do. So that's the role of the deposit, to show the serious intent of the buyer. It's protected during the conditional period, and from the time you're firm in legal binding contract to the time you close. If you walk away, that's when the contract states that you will forfeit the deposit, but the buyer has to agree to forfeit the deposit. So that's not as black and white as it seems, and hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, I've had that happen literally twice in 15 years. So, you know what? I thank you so much for tuning in and watching my videos. I really enjoy what I do, and I love talking real estate. So, click the subscribe button, hit the little bell there, ding, ding, and every time a new video comes out, you'll get one in your inbox. I'm Brenda Kay. This is the sweet Miss Frankie, who's here with me every day, and we'll see you next Thursday. Cheers.